Hello and welcome back to the Salmon FM, and this is my financial rescue save with Botafogo. This is season 3. So during last episode, I did mention that I would show you the goalkeeper that I had come through from the youth intake, and that's where I'm going to start the episode. So let's jump straight into that. João Carlos. So as you can see, his stats are very decent for a 17-year-old. He's not quite a wonder kid in the media description, but if you've played this Football Manager for long enough, you'll know that can change throughout the season. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will stay as not a wonder kid. Even wonder kids can lose that tag, so yeah, I'm hoping he does the job and becomes quite decent. Let's just have a quick look at the commercials. So the commercials are up on most counts this season, apart from the match day commercial and retail, as well as the competition prize money. I think the prize money was sort of let down by not getting as far in the Copa de Libertadores as we did the year before in the Sudamericana, because it was obviously slightly lesser competition, slightly easier, which meant we got further, but it was slightly less prize money. So yeah, if we could have probably just gone one more round in the Copa de Libertadores, then maybe it would have been higher. But oh well, never mind. It is what it is. Finances, so we've got 21 in the bank, and our net debt is now showed at 110. So it is coming down. It's slow, but it is coming down. So start of the third season, we've got rid of 29 million of the debt. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be a slow save, especially when you're not having great youth intakes, and you're also trying to spend to claw back, to keep the team competitive, because there's no point in getting rid of everybody and just not having a competitive team, because you're going to get relegated, you'll lose more money. But so yeah, this is the Campeonato Estadual do Rio de Janeiro. So it's our little sort of regional sort of pre-season league thing. The board want us to get into the playoff every year, so that was the aim. You play everybody, you do a little sort of mini playoff sort of thing after the first stage, and then you go into a second stage and play everybody again, and then you top 2 teams then go on to the playoff final, which we did get to the playoff final this year, and it was against Flamengo, and first piece of silverware of the season. So yeah, we managed to beat Flamengo in the final. My wonderful Igor Casio getting the goal for us. He's been top scorer in every year, I think, so far. So yeah, he done the bits, got us the goal, won us the cup. I'm going to jump straight now into the qualifying for the Libertadores. So if you remember from the last episode, and if you haven't watched the last episode, make sure you catch up on the series. Even though we finished outside the Libertadores places, we got put into the playoffs for the Libertadores. So let's see how we get on. Right, so first game against Nacional in Paraguay, and nice comfortable 4-1 win. Yeah, can't really say much else. Second leg, check that one out. So went their place and absolutely annihilated them. And next up was Alianza, over in Peru. That was a 0-0 at home and 1-1 away. So we managed to get through on the away goal. We were just really lucky, to be fair. When they scored that goal in the second minute, I thought, oh God, here we go again. But it is what it is. And that was the group that we got drew. Apologies, you've seen the old cat jumping around here. Yeah, so it didn't look a difficult group. I think we missed quite a few of the bigger boys that could have come along. And yeah, I just wanted to jump in here because we had a takeover. There's nothing, no transfer embargo or takeover is going on. There was no reports of, a takeover is imminent in the news. I just got this random message saying extra funds from the result of a takeover. I checked out the net balance. Nothing had changed. So I'm not going to show you that. But yeah, nothing's changed. They just gave me a little bit extra transfer money. And here are some of the transfers I've made. So, yeah, I signed a couple of people. Down the bottom on the left-hand side, you'll see that I signed Garay. Now, he had been a free agent for a little while, and him and Javier Mascherano I signed purely to be a part of the mentoring groups, to try it, because, again, they did that silly thing where they've stopped playing for a club, but then they've announced that they're going to retire in a year's time. So, yeah, that part of the game just completely and utterly baffles me. But, yeah, so we managed to sign him, those two, purely just for the mentoring groups for the youngsters. Let's have a little look of a handpick a few. So, Mejdi Ben Ali, Tunisian wonder kid. Cost me £2 million, and I couldn't be happier. He's an absolute superstar for this division anyway. I don't know if he'd do well in anywhere else, but yeah. I've been playing him mostly as a right back, but because I sold Mousinho. But yeah, he's doing bits. Yeah, I'm not Malambi. I'm not going to try and pronounce his first name. I'll probably insult a whole nation there. But I tell you what, there is some talent over in South Africa. This is the first time I actually had South Africa loaded in the database, or in my database, at the start, and there is some talented players coming through. But yeah. Gaston Ladico, another new signing, Argentinian. Picked him up on a free, and look at that value. So I weighed it up and I was like, do I sell him straight away or do I keep him? I opted to keep him. Like I said, we needed to make sure that we stayed competitive. So yeah, I kept him around. And jumping ahead, Youth Intake Day. Now, remember what I said? I told you guys to make sure you're keeping on your board for your junior budget as well. And I've had probably, honestly, on the last one, I had João Carlos come through. That was one person I was really excited for. On here, there is two. Now, I'm going to look at Antonio and not Luis, but I think those two will do bits. But let's just have a quick look at Antonio Fernando. And look at that, 16 years of age, and the stats on him there. Yeah, he's going to be special. I can just tell. I'm going to end up having someone from Europe probably come and pick him up and probably rob him off me. Right, so let's just have another nose at the finances now that we've moved along in the season. We've got 19 and just short of 19.5 grand in the bank, and the net debt has slightly risen. I've no idea. No notification of it. The loans are still going out as normal, but for some reason the net debt's gone up again. So, Copa do Brazil. Now, if you have watched the first two episodes, you will know that I cannot get past the 5th round. We won the first leg. Could we actually do the impossible and get through? Yes! Finally, our third attempt, we are through the 5th round of the Copa do Brasil. Nice 5-2 aggregate win, which brought us Santos in the next round. 6-1. 6-1. Now, if you do follow me on Twitter, my Twitter link is in the description. You will know that I actually tweeted this, and if you do follow me on Twitter, you'll know how we got on. 6-1 in the first leg. You think it's all done and dusted. I can't. The worst thing is we could have gone and taken it to penalties, but my wonder kid goalkeeper concedes a 91st minute own goal. Yeah. Maybe next year. So, yeah, he's the Libertadores, and quite comfortably run away with the league here. Well, the group. Wasn't really too much to say about it. There was no massive wins in this one, like 9-0 or anything, so it was a little bit more competitive. Which then brought us to the next round, and again, last year, if you remember, we didn't do so well after the group stage. Finished 0-0, and then second leg 6-2. So first time we're getting past the second round on this one as well, and along came Penarol, who knocked us out last year, and yeah, we got our revenge quite nicely as well. Go to their place and stuff them. Come to our place and it was a 1-1 draw. But if you look at those stats down there, other than the possession, we were on top. Possibly we should really have won the game. It is what it is. Semi-final brought us back into Brazil and playing against Grêmio. 1-1. Again, it's another disappointing result considering looking at the stats. But yeah, it is what it is. Second leg, could we get through? Nah, we fell just short, which is a little gutting, but the main thing was the club wanted us to get to this stage of the trophy, and we got here. So there's no threatening of relegate the sack, nothing this year. Other than the Copa do Brasil, which they wanted us to get to the final, we've at least hit all the targets so far. Question is, could we do it in the league? And the answer is yes. Look how much better that looks. I made the point of I was starting to keep some of my top players and keeping them in the club, and voila, absolutely perfect. Not far off the top either, so we could do a title challenge in the near future. Average ratings, Igor. The guy is just unreal. Look at that. 68 appearances and 50 goals. That just shows you how many games are in this bloody season as well. Igor has pretty much played every game. He hasn't got injured this season. Touch wood, it continues. 68 games. So last little look at the transfers. As you can see, I've also now signed Bruno Fuchs and Bernardo. Bruno is rated as a 4-star defender, so he will hopefully shore up the back line, even though I know International were relegated, but it is what it is. And Bernardo is a youngster who's predicted to be a 4-star player for them. So hopefully, with the right nurturing, the right mentoring groups, he will do the bits. As it's come to the end of season 3, I just thought I'd update you on the staff. Coaching staff, Deg's getting better because I'm putting my coaches through the courses. I haven't added anyone because I can't add anyone, but because I'm putting the coaches through coaching courses, it's getting better. I've finally filled all the spots in the scouts, and you can see we're the best in the league. And as for the medical department, much better than what it was when we first started. So that is it. That is season 3. If you did enjoy it, thank you very much for checking it out. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you caught my video the other day, you will see that I put that I'm going to come away from Botafogo just for a little while so I can focus on something else. So I should have the first episode of Union Berlin up on Monday, as opposed to the Botafogo. I'm not abandoning Botafogo because it's still work to do, but I want to start doing something else as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for Monday with my Union Berlin save, where we try to take the Bundesliga dominance away from Munich and give it basically to Berlin and try and dominate Germany with Union Berlin. But yeah, so like I said, thank you very much. See you soon.